Why does hard work not lead to success or stability? Okay, well.
And that didn't really feel like work-life balance. That felt like
work was invading.
Work was invading my balance.
If you're thinking about how sick you could always be, your mind will manifest that for you.
Correct.
You get to determine your life. And guess what? You're young, you're vibrant, you're healthy.
And you're as healthy as you see your future to be. Hey, how's it going? Sorry. Welcome to Cam and Joe's show. We normally do our podcast in a regular format, but today we're doing something a little bit different.
Switching it up.
It's going to be really fun. How you doing, my man?
I'm well. Happy Friday.
Oh, happy Friday, bro. So, you know of all the tragedies and all the stuff that's been going on.
I do.
Right? There's been a lot of stress. There's been a lot of tension. And what I feel like is there needs to be some dad views on this thing.
I like that views.
So, we're gonna approach this as dads. You've seen us react as friends. You've seen us talk as business entrepreneurs. But today we're gonna be dads. And I used Grok to ask the top questions. So the question is, what are the top questions Gen Z and Gen Alpha are asking about life?
I love that.
Right? And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna answer these questions. And if you're watching this, throw a comment or a question down below and let us know what questions you'd like us to ask. Because in the end, we love our kids and we can see how a lot of people don't have dads.
Yeah.
And we want to try and help buffer that for you. Maybe answer some questions that you have in the way we would, in our perspective, right?
Correct. And not even so much that we're talking down to somebody, because you always kind of think like, oh, I need a dad's advice. You kind of want to go the generation up, but I just want to filter this through me, looking into the eyes of Beckham or Maddie.
Correct.
Or Bodie. Like, what does my dad heart at 36 say and speaking to
Correct. 100%. So this is our perspective as dads. And so
and they're not always perfect.
No, not at all. We're gonna give it our, we're gonna mansplain the
dad
vibes.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be honest.
Right? Okay, so first question. Do you want to hit this one or you want me to?
I got it.
Okay. What is the meaning of life and how do I find my purpose?
Ooh. So
a nice simple one.
I'm gonna phone a friend.
This one is specifically Gen Z. This is
what is the if you're asking a parent what is the meaning of life, you have to be fluid with life will sometimes come to you, right? Yeah. I'm thinking of my own experience, and this is the same thing I would tell a kid or my son or anybody. You don't really. I mean, some people can forecast, right?
Sure.
If you're gonna be a doctor or an engineer, you're setting a course for after high school, collegiate study, so on and so forth, right? And you're thinking career. But I like the answer more than like, what's the meaning of life and what do I want to be? I would pour more into what I feel and what the Bible teaches us is to love God and love others, right? And if you're putting a focus on anything, it is following and pursuing Jesus, right? And then in anything that you do, to pursue greatness and do everything that you do unto the Lord as it asks us to do.
Yeah.
But the biggest part of that, where I feel some people could maybe fall short, it's stressing on one over the other, right? It says do A and B, and if we're doing A and B, the loving others is huge. If you are a lover of other people, if you are a lover of your family, if you're a lover of strangers, anybody that you come in contact with, they're going to leave. And we've mentioned this before on our show.
Yeah.
You're trying to make everything better that you have come in contact with, person, place, or thing, right? So if the meaning of life in that sense, what is the meaning of life? It's to love God and it's to love others. Yeah. And if you can focus everything that you do on those two things, your life will naturally be that much more peaceful, and you're going to have kind of that reassurance, like, oh my God, am I doing this right? Well, are you loving God and loving others?
Yeah.
And that's like the ultimate catch all, and that just brings me that much more peace, because then it's not about followers or making money and this, that, and the other. It's like, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all, including income, including everything. All other things will be added unto you.
The only thing we're going to add on to that, because I agree with you on this, the only thing we're going to add on to that is when God created Adam, he told him to, what we read is, take dominion of the earth. Dominion is the Roman term. The actual Hebrew term is rawa, to love into perfect purpose.
to love into perfect purpose.
So if you're saying I don't have
I
purpose,
love that.
you need to find something that you can love into purpose, and that purpose will drive
That's
you
awesome.
into more things. And that's what Adam was when God created him. Whether the story's real or whether it's metaphorical, the concept of loving something into its purpose and finding a place that love can be
That's
abundant gives you the most purpose that you're going to find.
Yeah. And I think from a father's standpoint,
Yeah.
loving something into its purpose,
Yeah.
God, like that could be behind the definition. That could be behind the definition of a father or of a
Absolutely.
parent in general. To love something into its purpose. I love that.
All right, next question. Why does hard work not lead to success or stability? Okay. Well, and again,
I like
this
that.
one's specifically Gen Z, so let me answer this one. You can't see your gains. And let me just be honest with this. So you go to school and you do your schoolwork and you turn in your grades and you do all that stuff, but you don't see the gains. You get quarterly reports, and those reports tell you that you're a little better than you were yesterday, or you're a little bit worse than you were yesterday. That's not realistic. That's not life, okay? When it comes to success in doing things, you have to create goals for yourself that are attainable. If you are living by the standards of somebody else and you're saying, why can't I fulfill those standards? You never will.
Correct.
The whole point of job is that they get to tell you how you can do better and they can keep you employed. Being self-employed, I set those tones and rules.
Yeah.
So what you run into is if you're questioning that question, why am I not getting success? Why can't I find stability in that? Well, then maybe the answer is you're not called to fit within the system that exists and you're feeling that discomfort because you want to grow past that.
Yeah.
And that involves you having an honest question. What does success look like for me? What do I want out of life? And what kind of gains am I looking for? And if you're going, I want to be ripped tomorrow, that's just unrealistic. I'm going to want to be the smartest man in the world tomorrow. No. Every day is a slight bit of gains.
Yeah.
And as long as you put the goals and effort to it, when you look back and you're like, man, I've grown so much.
Correct.
But don't make the goals so egregious that you can't achieve them. And don't try and compare yourself to a system that is meant to make you feel less than.
I love that. I love that. And to add to that, like you were saying when you're talking about, okay, if I'm here today and I want to be here tomorrow, if that's unrealistic, I've heard it in different genres of life and different aspects, creating SMART goals, what's called SMART goals,
Yeah,
SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-oriented. And I always put the focus on time-oriented because if somebody's like, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. Tomorrow? No. Next month? Probably not.
Yeah.
A year? Sure. 9 months to a year? Sure.
Absolutely.
It's specific, it's measurable, it's A&R, attainable and realistic. I call those the same, but it's time oriented. So if you're trying to lose 50 pounds over 10 months, you're no longer trying to lose 50 pounds. You're trying to lose 10 pounds in a month.
Correct.
You're trying to lose 2.5 pounds in a week.
It's much
trying
more
to lose
attainable.
half a pound a day. Very realistic. And the next thing you know, you're halfway there and you're like, I'm 25 pounds down in 5 months because you set a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time oriented goal.
And every single one of those successes lead on to the next success.
Absolutely.
All right, next question. This will be yours. How do I achieve work-life balance and financial independence?
I love that. Well, I mean, it looks different to everybody.
Correct.
It really does. But we both work in careers that you can attain a good amount of work-life balance. And mind you, sometimes it tips the scale to one side and sometimes it tips the scale to the other. So I think, how do you achieve it? I mean, some people have a harder time. If you have a strict 9 to 5, you have to check in at 9 or 8, and then you're off at 5. Your best focus there is what can you do in your hours away from work, right? Let's just be completely honest. And that's where I would say the good share of Americans, or even in global markets, they have that time where they physically have to be away from their family and their spouses and their children, right? So there's that, right? In markets that allow you the time freedom, or you can kind of work from anywhere, that's a blessing and a curse, because at the same time, while I love that I can work, or was working from the hotel a couple hours last week when we were in Disneyland, it would also be nice to not have to think about work while I'm on vacation. Correct. So people are like, oh, work-life balance. I'm like, yeah, it's great, but like anything, there's a good side and a bad side.
Absolutely.
I posted on Instagram, I was flying home from LA on Tuesday evening, And I was texting with an agent at the airport. They're like, "Hey, as soon as you're able, can you give me that pre-approval letter?" And as much as I wanted to like sit there on Netflix and just kind of chill,
Yeah.
I was right there. Like the sun was setting as I was heading back to Sacramento, and there I was building a pre-approval letter. And that didn't really feel like work-life balance. That felt like
work was invading.
Work was invading my balance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, if you can just seek peace in it and work into industries that allow for the freedom, but if you're unable to, you just have to be that much more sharp and you know, run home when you can. Be as present as you can, because there's nothing more important. Work will be there. Yeah. The dollar will be there. If you have young children.
If you're looking at financial independence, I'm going to just add 2 cents to it.
Yeah.
Your mental health is what matters. If I'm sad and I'm depressed and I need food to make me feel better, your food bill is going to be much higher. Mm-hmm. If it's I'm sad and depressed and I need to watch 3 hours of Netflix every day to feel satisfied, what's the continuing factor? It's not Netflix and it's not food. Those aren't your issues. It's you and you're feeling sad and depressed. Do you need to find ways to appease yourself? I'm behind computers and tech all the time, looking at analytics, and I'm with coffee all the time, and we're figuring out websites. That's all constant. It's nonstop. Touch grass. Find something that gets you out of your head. Find something that relaxes you, something that gets you into nature. That's what helps me. But find something that helps your mental health. Once your mental health lines up, then you can actually look objectively at your finances and ask real questions. Am I spending too much money on pleasure? Am I spending too much on other things? Now, I do understand when it's tight, every penny goes to everything, but that goes back into our last one with SMART. Measurable gains, pay down the credit debt, pay down these things, and figure out what's best for you. Am I enough, loved, valued, and safe in this judgmental world?
Am I enough? That's great question.
I'm actually going to answer it right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
You are enough.
Yep.
If you needed this, if you needed somebody to look at you and tell you that you're enough, you are enough.
Yep.
You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You have such purpose, you have such plan and such destiny, but it is up to you to realize your own flaws and your own emotions and your own things and look at those things objectively so that you can become a better person tomorrow. Well, as we talked earlier, Rawa, loving the world and loving things into perfect purpose, you have to do the same thing for yourself. You have to love yourself into perfect purpose. You need to be aware of your mental health. You need to be aware of your relationships. You need to be aware of your finances. Because if all those things start taking from you, you're going to start feeling, am I loved? Am I valued? Am I safe? And then now the world's judgment is 10 times louder.
Correct.
But if you are confident in yourself, the judgment of the world is still going to be there, but it doesn't matter because you feel safe within yourself.
Yeah. You're not needing it. You're not approaching the world at 90% or 80%. You're at 100% and you don't need them to tell you that you are worth it. So as Joe said, yes, you are enough and you are built and designed perfectly and beautifully with a perfect plan for your life. You just got to seek that.
It's yours. How do I build real connections and function in a lonely online world?
How do I build real connections? So I want to focus on the first side. The first side of that. Yeah. And then the second side and function in a lonely online world. Shut your freaking laptop. That's my focus on the latter half. A lonely online world. If you're talking about a lonely online world, you're already spending way too much time on social networking or watching YouTube videos. And the second you go onto Facebook or Instagram, you see somebody with a life that is, quote unquote, better than yours, and you're instantly you clicked on it because you saw a message and now it's clickbait. Next thing you know, you're just completely deflated and depleted because you see all these things that other people have that you don't. That could make you feel very lonely. So freaking turn it off because you don't need that shit. Seriously, power down. As Joe said, touch grass. How do I build real connections? Being real, being authentic, both with yourself and also in your relationship with your spouse, in your relationship with your children, in your relationship with your coworkers. Don't ask surface level questions and you won't get surface level answers. So if you ask somebody, hey, how's your day going? They're like, good. You're like, no. How are you doing? How are you? And allow them to put their guard down and then just be a sounding board. I mean, remember, at the end of the day, it's 2 ears, one mouth. Give people an opportunity to speak and hear and engage and hear them out. That's how you build real connections.
And to add to that, if you're going, well, I feel lonely in the online world, go into the real world and find people with similar interests.
Yeah.
If you
Step into a coffee shop.
Correct.
Find
Sit in
somebody
a
that
coffee-
needs to have a conversation.
You're sitting there
That's how you
reading
do
a
it.
book,
Yeah.
somebody else is reading a book, ask the question. It
Yeah.
takes a moment of bravery to make a
Yeah.
friend. And you just go, hey, it's an interesting book. What's it about?
Yep.
And then see if that
Real
leads
connection.
anywhere. And if it doesn't lead that way, don't take it as a personal thing,
Yeah.
because everybody feels lonely at times. This isn't
And being together.
Absolutely. All right, next question, and this is the last one from Gen Z, and we'll hit Gen Alpha. Will climate crisis, wars, and economic failures destroy our future? I'm just going to hit this.
Those have been going on since the beginning of time.
There has always been someone trying to kill someone.
Mm.
There will always be a financial crisis. There will always be, the economy will always go up and down. You will always hear somebody telling you that in the best times that the worst times are coming, and everybody in the worst time telling you the best times are coming.
Yep.
Exist now and enjoy life now. And if you can take all of what we've talked about before, your mental health in process, your financial health, your goals, being around people, and you can apply those things, this stuff doesn't matter.
Correct.
Because now you're like, I have a community. Okay, cool. All this stuff happens, but guess what? I have a community that I'm surrounded with that loves and cares for me, and
Correct.
we can make it through that together.
Yeah.
And that isolation goes away.
Turn off the news. In a nutshell, turn off the news.
Just-
Because,
yeah.
like, as much as it's gonna, oh my God, like, if you start your day on MSNBC or CNN or Fox or whoever,
Yep.
you're gonna, like, literally, it's like you're making coffee and you're throwing just a little bit of poison into it, and you're like, I should be fine.
This
Like,
is the best
no.
arsenic ever.
Don't worry. Yeah. No, like, focus on today, focus on now, focus on your own family. Make your circle smaller, and there's just so much more peace there. Truly.
All right, so the next we have top questions Gen Alpha is asking live. So this is 2010 to 2024. So
Yeah.
we're looking at
So some of these questions were asked by 1-year-olds. I'm kidding. Okay, here we go.
get off online.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now. Don't do it.
You kid.
All right, how do I stay safe and resilient after COVID and the big scary events? I'm gonna hit this one.
Yeah, please do.
10 years medical field. Let me just tell you here. There are enough bacteria in the world that could hurt you at any time. But your body's immune system is so incredible.
Mhm.
As long as you're not picking up manure and eating it, as long as you're not, somebody's coughing and you're not like openly going, give me the goodies, it's not as bad as you think. Your body can create and adapt. The whole point of your body's immune system is sickness enters into it. Your body creates antibodies after fighting that, and your body becomes resilient to that thing.
Yep.
COVID was not the
That's a flu
first.
shot.
COVID was not the first viral incident that we have. It won't be the last, but you cannot let that be your future. Enjoy your life. If this is from Gen Alpha, play more video games with your friends.
Mhm.
Go out to the park. Go do something. Have fun. If you're thinking about how sick you could always be, your mind will manifest that for you.
Correct.
You get to determine your life. And guess what? You're young, you're vibrant, you're healthy, and you're as
Correct.
healthy as you see your future to be. And I can tell you, the future looks bright and you've got an incredible purpose.
Be like with AI tracking and no privacy. Starting at the end there, with no privacy. So some people may absolutely disagree with me, but I couldn't care less about that. I don't want to say I couldn't care less, but so many people are like, "Man, we're being tracked. Man, we're being followed." Unless you're doing something hella illegal,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because the people that are like, "Oh my God, no one's tracking me," they're also like, "I'm in Bora Bora. I'm at the gym." It's like, we're tracking you right now. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, just quiet,
Yeah.
right? So tracking and privacy, in my opinion, a lot of that can lead to safety.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I had a buddy, and I was like, I thought it was so cool. He and all of his friends, his close friend circle, like 5 or 6 friends, they all have the like Find Me or like the Where Am I
Yeah.
app. So all of them, we were at a function together, and they're like, "Where's so and so? He's still en route, and so they look like they're still in Wheatland on their way here." They can all live check in on each other.
Yeah.
And while some people may freak some people out because it's tracking and no privacy, it's also a safety thing, right? If somebody's like, "All right, hey, I'm gonna be, for sake of conversation, leaving the bar around 11," and then you see that their location is behind the bar at 3,
Yeah.
might be a problem, right?
Yeah.
From a what will life be like with AI, don't be scared of AI.
No.
It's a tool. You can harness it. You can ride it like the wind in any field, both in absolutely in lending and in real estate, but so many other markets have been better.
Coffee is much better.
I love AI.
Yeah,
don't allow it to.
We're using
scare you.
AI to get your
Using
question
AI right now.
right. So
And Joe and I actually aren't real. There's that.
I'm a real boy.
It's weird. I'm a real boy.
I would also say the internet doesn't forget. So if you're afraid that your privacy is going to be invaded by uploading a photo, don't upload the photo.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. If you're afraid, the internet does not forget. So then don't give access to something that shouldn't have access to. What do you do when you're afraid somebody's going to come in your house? You lock the door.
Yeah.
You're afraid somebody's going to walk in on you when you're in the bathroom. You close and lock the door. Hopefully that's already regular practice.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
If not, friendly reminder.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. How do I make real friends and have fun online? You know, Gen Alpha and Gen Z are kind of getting similar.
Yeah, they are.
Go to the places where people are.
Like Steelhouse Coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Off of Plymouth Street,
Oh.
Yuba City, open.
7 a.m.
There you go.
I was like, what is he doing? Oh yeah.
Open.
Yeah. Go to a place where people are. Go to the park. Go
Yeah.
to the coffee shops. Go to. Here's the thing. Even
Go
if you're not a
volunteer.
religious person, go to a youth group and just hang out with people there. You need places that have parental supervision that can keep you, that are safer than you just being by yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also need to have people your age doing things that you like.
Yeah.
Don't do
Yeah.
things you hate.
Yeah.
Don't stay online in chat forums that you hate and
Yeah.
slowly degrade you.
Mhm.
I mean, get off Reddit.
Yeah.
Flat.
Yeah.
You'll be happier.
Yeah.
Trust me.
How do I make real friends and have fun offline? Yeah. Like I said 2 or 3 times prior, shut the laptop, get outside. Like, can we please go back to the 90s where like you would just like ride your bike around and find where all the other bikes are, and that's where
Correct.
everybody was hanging out.
That
Like
was the park.
we need some more of that in 2025. But now it's like, all right, get home, all right, and now it's just everything is just
Plugged
it's
in.
digital, it's plugged in, it's screen time. Where getting offline is shutting that down, power down, unplug it, close the laptop, get outside, and you may freak some people out because it'll be like, outside, but that
What do you mean?
big yellow fiery thing is up there in that sky, and I don't know about it. Just get outside, unplug, go find some people with shared interests.
Pumbaa, to you, everything's gas.
Exactly.
That's all I have to say.
Oh,
All right. Why do I have to question everything? School, instructions, even progressivism.
you don't have to.
No. I would say because of a curious mind. Question everything, yes.
Good
But
positive
also you have to be willing to accept the answers that are given to you. And if you don't agree with them, that just empowers you to learn more of why they do what they do. Right? And if you don't agree with what they do, you still have to work within the systems themselves.
Yeah.
If you decide, I don't want to do this anymore, and you leave your job and you're fired, you just lost financial stability.
Correct.
Like, there is an amount of having to work with each other. Giving and taking is part of
Yeah.
our society things. And the idea that things have polarized so much that I can't disagree with somebody, or they're going to alienate me online, or I can't sit in a room with somebody who disagrees with me, and we can't have a civil conversation, in the
Yeah.
end go, oh, well, I don't like what you just did.
Yeah.
You can do that. You have the free will to do that.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, if you're looking at that, take the instructions that you're given, apply yourself the best of your ability to those instructions, but don't ever stop questioning them. Question them in the proper way, and then find out why. Look up history.
Mhm.
Why are these systems in place? Why are schools doing what they're doing? Why am I being instructed by my employer to do what I'm doing? Let your curious mind run wild, but also still be willing to work with others you disagree with and make positive change.
Especially if they're paying you.
As-
And it's
If they're
like-
paying you, I'm gonna be honest.
Why do I question everything? It's like when your boss says, I'm gonna need you to mop, and you say, well, why? Like, because they're paying you.
Yeah,
right?
that's a
So yeah, there's a degree of sometimes you gotta turn it off. But why do I have to question everything? You don't. You can live in the level of cynicism and being a skeptic. In my opinion, that isn't gonna bring a ton of peace, right? I think if anything, if you're asking kind of yourself like the why questions, that's a deeper question, right? Seeking those questions out, I think, is awesome. It's also a way, realistically, to promote. When you ask a certain question, or for like there was an instructor that I had in Sac State, exercise physiology professor, that I just absolutely loved this guy's mind. And after class, if there was a concept that I didn't actually grasp,
Yeah.
it wasn't that I was a critic, but I would just write it down, and then, or during his office hours or whatever, I'd be like, hey, could you give me maybe a better breakdown and understanding? And we ended up becoming just great friends until I graduated. So ask those questions, but just maybe don't see it through the lens of being such a skeptic, but more curious.
It's not oppression, and you're not a victim.
Correct.
You're not a victim. It just, as soon as you realize I'm not a victim and I'm not being oppressed when somebody asks me to do something,
Yep.
your life will be so much better.
I agree.
What happens if something bad happens to my family, like death or no money?
You have to have resolve. I mean, because we
Yes.
don't live in a perfect world, and you can't live in a bubble. Things do happen like that. I mean, you would hate the no money side, but at the same token, there are systems in place,
Correct.
like Social Security and welfare and WIC and things like that. When there is no money, you're not going to starve. Straight
Correct.
up, there are food banks, there's programs, right? So don't let, like, in 2025 in America, unless you are trying to,
Yeah.
you're literally not going to starve. Straight up, death is a very real part of life, right? That's what kind of makes it so sweet. Eventually it ends. So like Joe was saying earlier, you have to be present, and you want to be doing life around people that you feel love and connected to, right? To hit back to question 2.
Absolutely.
But what happens if something bad happens? I think it's a matter of staying grounded, staying real, loving people, knowing that something could happen to them tomorrow. And I think that gives you kind of a romantic view of life if you know that what you have won't last forever.
Yeah.
I'm watching my kids grow up daily, and that's hard. Like, I was looking at photos on Google Images, was like sending me all my photos that I've backed up on through Gmail, they were like sending me random photos from like 5 or 6 years ago, when Beckham was both just born and learning to walk. And like, I'm like crying on my bed last night, and I was like, ugh, but like there was tear going down my face at like 10:30 at night, because the reality is that time is happening.
Absolutely.
And what we have right now is not forever. You know what I mean? And so it adds an appeal. It adds a romanticism.
Yeah.
Because what you're experiencing right now will not always be there. If you're in junior high, you won't always be. Nor will your circumstances, your problems, and the situation. Same with high school. Same with college.
Yeah.
Every year you're just kind of reinventing yourself. So have peace about that. Don't be so worried and fixated on what if something bad happens to my family, like Piglet, right? Have a little bit more Tigger.
I would also say this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to last forever.
Yeah.
With you have no money, doesn't mean you're never going to have it again. If somebody passes, that doesn't mean you still don't have those amazing memories that you've had in the past. And the sorrow that you're feeling and the sadness you're feeling are real. Don't let those engulf you, but you still need to let those be real to you and embrace those things and release them in the proper way. They're telling you something's wrong for a reason. Let your body, let your mind, let your soul, let your spirit express those things properly in proper places with safe people.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. At the same time, don't let vulnerability be your master.
Yeah. Well said.
All right. And the final question, I'll answer this one. I don't want to die. How do we fix the world before it's too late? All right. If this is Gen Alpha, which this was given to us by AI, I don't want to die. How do we fix the world before it's too late? Okay. So I was told, I'll just tell you a little story. My parents left San Francisco before I was born, because they believed that San Francisco was going to burn and everything was going to be destroyed. They believed that God was going to come back by the time before I was even born. And everybody has said the rapture's going to happen. We're all going to die. The rapture's going to happen. We're all going to die, over and over and over and over again. The number one selling thing when I was growing up was called Left Behind. Where all of a sudden, you would go, the whole point was Jesus could come back at any minute. Are you worthy? People waking up, and then there's clothes everywhere, and they got left behind. And this constant fear of what happens at the end? What happens in the end? Well, I just don't want it. Fear creates more fear. You have to be so confident, not even confident, you just have to understand that tomorrow is going to come. And guess what? If it doesn't come for you, it's nothing you could have planned for.
Correct.
So focus on the day, enjoy the day, cherish the day, cherish the time you have with the people that are around you. you're embrace your fatality by embracing life. Don't look at it as today is another day to die. Today is another day to live, and to live with all the memories that you're gonna have, and embrace those things. I've had my kids look at me and go, "Dad, what's death?" And I've had to have the real conversation. And the real conversation is, yeah, it comes for all of us, and we don't know the time or day.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean you can't appreciate the time today to be able to make yourself better and to live a wonderful life with people around you.
I love it.
So-
I always like it said, it's like life, no one gets out of this thing alive. It's like, oh my God. You'd be like, and you're not lying when you say, we're all gonna die. Because we are,
We are.
eventually.
Absolutely.
Right? Unfortunately, some later today, and in the best case, some in 100 years.
Yeah.
Right? But again, that adds the romance to life, is that it's not on this earth. It's not forever.
No.
So go out,
Exactly.
love people, in the best way. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, which is find the plan and the path that God has for you. Seek it out, and everything else will fall into place. And you gotta have peace with that.
And as everybody says, like, subscribe, throw comments down below on
Yeah.
any other questions you want us to ask. These are just us as dads. These are just how we've gone through life. And if all we can do is bring a little bit more hope to somebody else,
Absolutely.
that's what we want to do. And if you're feeling hopeless, don't. The future looks bright, and you got this.
I love you. Be good.